Well, doing an update on my reception desk that I'm building, and this is yesterday was the big day because it's the real first day of putting together the whole thing. The desk is made up of 7 separate parts. 1, 2, the 2 big pedestals, 2, 3, 4 along the front, 5, 6, and the desk itself for the receptionist, 7. Now, it obviously cannot be transported in one, so the real thinking comes into how to make it easily disassembled and reassembled when we get over to the big house, the inn. There are no screws and bolts, no fittings, no metal fittings at all. It is glued and nailed, and sometimes only glued. I have yet to, at this point, this is a dry fit just to make sure that everything does go together. Now, you would think if I planned it and made it, I would know that it all would go together, but there are always little tweaks that have to be done. And the awkward part of working in this particular workshop is that, as I always complain, sorry to complain, but the floor is not level. In fact, it's quite rough in places, even though I did stipulate when I spoke to Beth, I said it must be flat, level, smooth. Even though at the time I didn't actually know that I was going to be building in here. I was using a room in the big house, the inn, as that's what I was thinking, to use a room over there as a workshop. And then I decided no, and we converted the open garage into a workshop. And we did that by putting on the doors. We just made it that much nicer. Now, we're looking at the time now. We're still quite early in the morning, before 10 o'clock, so the sun is not yet over there. So we're still fairly cool in here. I don't have any AC. And before the AC must come an extraction unit, which will take the dust out as it's generated, a lot of dust. And of course you can't have that flying around, bad for the health, even though I did get a fairly nice mask. We'll see how that works out. So it's all together. The only thing that hasn't had any finish work done on it is the desk top. And all of those little blemishes and stuff that are not right will have to be attended to now. Plus I don't like the surface, it's quite rough. And I will have to do my painting in the fine coat. This here, that skim coat. What I do is I use that skim coat, which normally would be used to smooth out the walls, and I use that on the wood surfaces, and it works out very well. I mix up a very thin watery paste and I paint it on. That's how all of these pieces have been done. So the last piece to go in was this little section here on the top, and I did a couple of little tweaks on it yesterday. It's not finished. It has to be fixed so that it will go in easily and stay there. As I said, no bolts or fittings. Very easy once you understand the sequence, very easy to assemble, which of course it has to be, because at some point it may be moved, and it will be an easy job. There'll be an instruction sheet as well, which will be stored with the desk. But anyway, that's where we're at right now. And looking at the problems as to why we would need a real dry fit is because the floor is not level, so this desk is not at the same level as that, or that pedestal and this pedestal. And unless they are completely vertical, upright, they're not going to be level along the top. which means that these sections here, which are exactly 56 inches long, there's two sections there, 56 inches long, and they must be fitting vertically with this line here behind. And if the floor will not allow me, you can see I've got it bolted up a little there with wedges, but it's not perfect. And what I probably will have to do before the whole thing is finished, to make sure that everything's going to go together properly, I may have to buy a piece of 8x4 plywood and get that perfectly level, and then put the desk on it, and then we'll see if there are any little bits that have to be done where there's gaps that shouldn't be. Plus, this is the stage prior to the artwork going in, so all of the Art Deco decoration which is going to be done will come later. On these two little places here, it's a perfect place for a little sculpture to go in. One there and one there, and that's what that little circle is for. That's a backdrop to a piece that I have in mind. I'm still experimenting with how I should colour the upright pieces. They're kind of like little miniature high-rise buildings. And one of the things that I've looked at is here. This one is in, let's see if we can look in a slightly better light. This part is in aluminum, so a little bit dull. The center part is supposedly bright chrome. And then on this part, obviously I can't paint behind, so that would only be the color that if I could actually just spray paint, but I can't. So this has to be picked out properly here. And this is probably the way that I'll go. This is using the paint from the aerosol. See, very, very bright and shiny when it comes from the can, but later, and this might suit the design better, is where I've sprayed a little of that paint into a pot and then done it with the brush, and I quite like that finish. A little bit more satin. So that probably is what these inner parts will be painted, and these upright, my little high-rise buildings. And some other little parts that I think would look good in a bright relief. We'll see how that goes. So that's what I'm up to right now. As you can see, the top part of the desk just to end off, and then there is this seated area. This is where the receptionist would sit and be able to do. So that has to have a little cover plate put on it there and painted, of course, and then that's where we'll be. I believe in painting everything top and bottom. I don't think that there should be any underside where you can look. So, like here now, I wouldn't want to leave that like that, so all of that will be painted this base colour. And we have some artwork planned for these cutouts, and this is where the paperwork would be done for anybody coming in to rent a room. So that's our little update on the desk. I'm quite pleased with the way it's coming along. Look forward to your comments, and it would help a great deal if you share. A lot of people have been sharing, and it has meant more subscribers for us. I'm interested in doing some how-to videos, which will include how this was built and how other projects that I'm planning on building will be done, and how they come from the idea stage to fruition. Like this is almost there. So if you're interested in this kind of thing, then be vocal, get in touch through the comments, and I'd love to hear what you think. Keep it nice. I'm being nice, so keep it nice for me too. No point in commenting if all you're doing is being destructive. So I know that this is not everybody's style of desk, but it's something that's perhaps outside of the box for a lot. So let's see where that takes us in the comments. And if you could share this kind of project, then it would help a great deal, because our channel is not actually focused or centered on this kind of video of actually making something, building something physical, which could be, the knowledge for doing this kind of thing could be utilized in the home in many, many ways, especially the paint finishes, which I'm planning, which might interest a lot of people. So please share this one, and I'll be very grateful. Thanks for looking in. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and as I said, share.